Surprise, motherfucker.
All right, everybody knows I just saw Bolo's video and I just woke up and all this news just happened at once. But Inmusic brand has acquired Native Instruments. How many of you guys saw that coming? From the comments I've seen in other people's videos, I don't think a lot of people saw it coming. And some of the creators too. But the first thing that I thought of when I heard the news was this right here. This man, Al True West, is about to have a field day. Let's get into it. The tools that you rely on today will keep working, and the tools that you will rely on tomorrow are actively being built. Inmusic brand confirms Native Instruments acquisition, bringing it under the same ownership as Moog, Akai Pro, and many more. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. I want to know. I'm dead ass serious. Music technology heavyweight Inmusic brand has confirmed that it's reached a definitive agreement to acquire Native Instruments. NI was once a music software pioneer and became one of the biggest names in the industry. However, it faces numerous challenges over the past few years, both financial and cultural. I'm curious to what they mean by cultural. And was placed in preliminary insolvency early in 2026, which is basically bankruptcy over in Europe. The company later said that it was seeking a buyer, which has now confirmed to be Inmusic brand, already home to the likes of Akai Professional, Moog Music, Denon DJ, Newmark, Rain, and M Audio. As a part of a deal, Inmusic brand has also acquired Isotope, Plugin Alliance, and Brainwork, which previously fell under the Native Instruments banner. We'll definitely get into what it means in a second. I'm not over here pandering or anything like that. I know people will say that, but we'll get into it. If you were to ask anybody about this, most people will point out that, oh, well, last year there was a big announcement about Akai and Native Instruments integrating the plugins from Native Instruments into the Akai ecosystem, and everybody will say, well, that's where it started, and that's far from the truth. Back in 2021, during the announcement of the MPC Studio, I noticed a lot of things that were different, and I wasn't the only one. There was an additional thing where they had a touch strip on the side, and a lot of the functionality on the MPC Studio resembled a lot of what their Machine Micro was like. And I thought to myself, I didn't necessarily like it. I still don't like it as much as, the MPC workflow, but I tolerate it because it's not a bad controller. I can't talk about everything in full detail because, I probably get sued or in trouble or something like that. But I saw the whole entire merger kind of falling into place there. I just didn't know what the issue was over there at Native Instruments or anything like that, just like everybody else, because I'm just a content creator at the end of the day. I might be a little bit more privileged, but at the same time, I'm just like you guys. I just get opportunities. And if you've been paying attention to the very nature of how parts are going up in prices, hard drives, RAM, etc., then it's a little harder to put out new pieces of gear without investing way more than probably what you need to invest. And then not to mention with acquiring other companies yourself as a business person myself, it is not easy to retain a certain level of profit when it comes down to putting out new product and actually paying the people that make it. This truth becomes more evident if we look at companies like Electron, which has some of the best group boxes in the game, but at the same time, they kind of sit in the middle, and not to mention their prices sit a little higher than a lot of the gear, and people start asking if it's worth it or not. And, those are things that are out of their control. All they do is make good gear and hope that people will enjoy their stuff on a daily basis. The true writing on the wall happened for me when I saw Datsun have an MPC sample in front of him. That was the biggest writing on the wall, as he's been making some nasty beats, man. And Mike, make sure that you subscribe to Datsun as well. You know what I'm saying? I like his content. And now it's time for the hottest of takes ever. Now here is this take. And I'm gonna slow down the talk here, man. We just gonna have an honest conversation for this last moment. I don't necessarily see this as a bad thing at all. You know, I know people are gonna jump out the window and say whatever they want to say, and just just getting views and not even knowing anything. They're just gonna say whatever. But nonetheless, as someone that's been happily involved with some of the rollouts for Akai and anything else music brand related, I do like this acquisition because Native Instruments going away would be the weirdest thing that ever happened. When the insolvency was announced originally, so many people hit me in the DMs was talking about Apple buying them, and I was like, bro, come on now. Come on now, fam. That's just not gonna happen. Apple buying a gear company, a software company that just for music software hasn't happened since Logic. And the main reason why they did that is because they needed some type of music related software on there, and it's truly dedicated. Though they need their own integrated MIDI controller or something, that wasn't gonna happen. It clearly didn't. But when it comes down to it, I don't think that a Inmusic brand is going to change the brand itself. There are so many more companies that probably might see insolvency or bankruptcy or wherever it's called in your region, and it's not going to be a pretty thing. And it's all, again, as I account for what I said earlier, it's all because of how the industry is changing due to AI, which is another hot topic that people seem to get mad at me specifically for talking about and not knowing that it's either now or never. This is the year. This is the year where you're going to have to make a decision for yourself to either coexist, which I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like every aspect of AI. I don't like the fact that there might be a data center right down the street from me. You know, there's things not economically, well, yes, economically, like prices going up on electric bill. What else? Environmental dangers of data centers, because not only for our beloved animals that we love to look at, because I'm a huge dog watcher. I love cats. I love different kinds of rodents and animals and stuff like that. You can consider me Michael Jackson. I just don't have a bin. I would never have a bin. But either way, there's things that I don't like about AI, but there are things that I do like about AI. If I talk about like the assistant part of it, or the fact that I don't have to worry about copyrights when I use music generators, though people have been kind of twisting everybody's arm in this space, saying that you're not safe, or you can't just make anything because you don't own the copyright or whatever. And that's not what the law says. The law says that you just cannot type up a prompt and put out music and then consider that yours. You have to do something to it, and that's always been the thing. You know what I mean? So that aspect in itself, with everything changing, coming 2026 to 2027, because y'all have until 2027 to make your minds up on that. If you're gonna stand on business, go ahead, stand on business. But Inmusic brand acquiring Native Instruments, I'm glad that a company that has some experience with gear, software, etc., has acquired a company that has put out numerous of great releases. And as you can see, the ball is still rolling. They just put out Contact. I can only imagine what the new machine would be like, and then it will have the support that is necessary, because the first machine that they dropped that had standalone abilities, it didn't see the support that it needed, but it was being pushed as if it was okay. And that's not okay by anybody. Shouldn't be okay by anybody's books, whether you hate ecosystem or not. And as you can see, a lot of the adaptation of the Native Instruments workflow is now in the MPC, though it could be a little better. Now we'll see some gradual changes in how clips work, because clips on the Machine Plus, or the machine in general, are far more what I would say, I don't want to say loose, but they work a whole lot better than how they work on the MPC right now. Though the MPC clip mode is cool, it's just, you know, I'm not going to get into that. But just let me know how you feel about it. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm just weighing in with my take. And, you know, I see a lot of people are weighing in on theirs too. And this news struck me, and I was shocked this morning too. You know what I mean? But I don't think that will stop them from competing against each other, even though they're under the same Inmusic umbrella. And not to mention, I'm excited for the DJs too, because I've seen some DJs who love the Tractor software. I actually like that a little bit more than Serato. Just to be fair, I do love Serato now. Serato guys, don't trip on me. But I've always been a fan of the Tractor DJ app that was free on iOS and Android. And it would be great to see that getting continuous support and to see some of their controllers, because I have tons of DJ controllers that you cannot see in the background right now, though you can see my door or whatever. But I definitely want to hear from you guys. How do you feel about this acquisition? Are you happy? Are you mad? Are you upset? Just let me know. Things should continue exactly the same as it was. It's not going to change the company. Moog didn't change overnight, dude. So, yeah, you get it. You get it.